Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at a specific mission in Arma. It is called Dynamic Bulwark, and I've been playing probably an unhealthy amount of it lately. Let that plane get past us, and I'll start going over what exactly Dynamic Bulwark is. Okay, so you've got this bulwark. I don't know why they decided to call it that, but that's what they decided to call it. And every round, you get a weapon drop. That is a crate that drops. Got the nice blue smoke. That has got a weapon refill in it. That weapon refill will refill any weapon that you've got in your primary slot. And yeah, because honestly, weapons in the very beginning are kind of hard to find. So we're currently looking for them right now. Also, every single round, they send in a couple of AI. The AI are here to take out you and the bulwark. They seem to definitely be more interested in taking out the bulwark than you. So, yeah, you gotta be on your toes. And we'll take a brief look at the map. It will find a random spot with loot spawns, usually a town, like Laka here. Just so it's got a place to spawn stuff. So in every single building, there will be loot spawned. Um, so yeah, we're currently looking for two things. We're looking for the cash, which drops every single round, which lets you buy things to upgrade your bulwark. Ooh, MRCO. Not great, but that's not nothing. And I think those were IR grenades, which we don't really need. And there's the AI sent to kill us. In the beginning, they're not very smart. They're not very good at aiming. And yeah, they do spawn in from outside the mission. Oh, I'm dead. So that's just how things go sometimes. We will restart briefly and we'll start building stuff. And we're back. We are with a new bulwark, a new drop, and a new town, which is usually how it goes. Unless you're on Stratus or Malden, there are a few places that basically drop the same places every single time. MOS, yes, definitely. Make sure that we're on the iron sights. Yep. Oh, I forgot to mention, there is a support menu. When you unlock the support menu, it is very loud. But grabbing it also gives us some money, so we'll actually take a look at the shop right now. So the support menu that we just unlocked is on the right side here. We've got a recon UAV, which unlocks a recon UAV, goes out and finds all of the enemies for you, so you can go take them out just that little bit easier. We've got the emergency teleport, which will take you away from where you currently are and put you back next to the bulwark immediately, and it basically drops a satchel charge when you activate it where you left. Paratroopers, it'll send in a couple of dudes who are reasonably well geared out and will fight on your side. Like most AI, they've got really good aim. Missile casts, that's a bombing run from like a A10. Mine cluster shell just makes a minefield. The rage stim pack is actually quite silly. And we've got our first visitor. And he's looking at us. But I think we can get away with this. Mind control gas, really handy. It'll turn the enemy AI into friendly AI until the round is over, which they'll die then. The Arma cart is kind of terrible. It's got a automatic heavy machine gun up front mounted, and it will shoot stuff for you. You get to drive around, and you're basically invincible for a short period of time. And then the Predator drone, which is, if you're familiar with Arma, the Greyhawk, which you get to control and take out the armor that does eventually spawn. Some of the other things in here, you click on a thing, it shows you what it looks like. That's a long plank. junk barricades, ramps, triangles, sandbags. We use lots of sandbags. Dragon's teeth is something that I added in myself. Um, there was a dragon's tooth that we found was not very useful, so we decided to upgrade it to teeth and put it in an appropriate price range. Concrete shelters, something I've added in that I accidentally misnamed as the concrete shelter. Concrete walkways, I added in a lifeguard guard towers, small bunker block, and so on, all the way up to a modular bunker. That thing is basically indestructible. Not actually indestructible, just basically indestructible. But yeah, you've got all kinds of really cool things that you can build to make your base even better. And yeah, this guy's not very smart, which is fine. We're gonna see if we can find that money. Here's where I would grab more ammo, seeing as I basically started with just a single magazine. Come on. I'm also looking for an item around here that actually unlocks all of the loot. So each round, all of the loot respawns. So being able to find the box that tells you what loot is where is actually kind of super helpful. Yeah, see, he's not very smart. He doesn't see very well either. I'm not exactly being stealthy. We may take a short break until I can find the next bit. Oh, here we go. Here's the loot. Reveal loot. If we go back to our map, here's a list of all of the loot on the map. So, interesting note here. This dot, the loot spawn dot, shows up as nothing beside it. So our cache is over here by the MX3GL. So I've marked that, and you will notice that my navigation skills are pretty terrible. I think they maybe made a mistake in choosing that color for the waypoint that you can set. But anyways, here we go. We have found the cache. Boom. We now have 7,000 points. And ooh, I think I'm going to take this MX3GL. Got fewer rounds, and I left my scope on there. Typical Arma. There we go. And, of course, because we've swapped, there we go. I think where we're going to go next is we're going to take out that one dude that has spawned so we can clear out the area near the bulwark and start building. If we can find him. Where did he go? Nobody knows. It'll be a terrible use of a recon UAV because there is just the one dude. But, I mean, it is a use of the recon UAV. If you need to find that dude and find him fast, you can do it that way. But yeah, this doesn't seem like a terrible place to build. Oh, there he is. He doesn't seem to be paying too much attention to us. Anyway, I wanted to show off some of the buildings, so that's where we're going to get started. We're going to drop you. We're going to shop for you. And let's see, what do we want? Usually, I start out with stuff like this large concrete wall, which is pretty okay, but like most items in Arma that look like big sturdy walls, they can just be run over by a vehicle. Good base designs include something like this real deal concrete shelter at an angle so that nobody's got a direct look into the base. So yeah, after you pick stuff up, after you place stuff, you can pick it back up and place it back down. And like all building in Arma, it's a little finicky. There we go. We've got a decent front gate. Now we just need a few walls. For reference, stuff like the long concrete wall, this guy here, are basically impervious to vehicles. So you get something that tries to run into that, it's going to have a bad day. Anyways, we're going to continue building. And I think we're going to go a little bit smaller than your average bulwark today, just for how quick this episode really ought to be. Read. Boom. So these are 2 concrete walls wide, plus one of the concrete shelters. After a little while, you get used to what stuff costs, and it gets a little bit easier. There we go. That's pretty reasonable. And we're going to put the concrete shelter on the other side this time. Boom. We're going to pick you up. We're going to plop you down right there. And we're going to buy our concrete shelter. Like the actual concrete shelter. And I hear our friend over here. And you're thinking, hey, wonsnot, how are you going to know, how are you going to shoot this guy if you're all walled in like that? Well, that's actually a pretty simple thing. Let's find ourselves a concrete walkway. And that should be, where are you? No, not concrete platform. We're looking for the concrete walkway. There we go, 200. Okay, we get our concrete walkway, and this does basically the full length. We'll place it floating. You can snap stuff to the ground if you want it to be a little bit flatter if you have a flat place. But yes, you can move stuff up if you're pointing at the right thing. Okay, so at that height, we should be able to climb on top of it with the enhanced movement. Let's, there he is. Climb on top with the enhanced movement, which is highly recommended by me and the mod maker. And we can see him. There we go. It should be pretty easy. Gonna steal his backpack, loot up a little bit more. AI don't seem to be able to go through these concrete shelters for some reason. Maybe it's because they're shorter than they normally are. Oh, a kit bag. Not a bad place to start. Boom. There we go. We're geared up. Not as good as I would like, but now that we have some storage, we could actually use the drop box over here. We will fill our ammo, and you notice that now up at the top right we have 3 clips for our gun. So we're actually going to be able to survive now. Let's see, where did we find some loot last time? I think there was actually some loot in the shack that we spawned in. Oh, and that's not good. That's gonna have to move. And let's see, place it floating. That will work. Yep, so you have a little bit of grace period between rounds. And once that countdown finally finishes, time to get back to the bulwark. And also, all of the loot disappears. So, if we take a look at our map, all of our loot locations are gone. That's because all of the loot is gone. And there's a new loot box to check. I would love to show you some of the higher level stuff, which may be coming. Yeah, see, all of this is totally different. Anyway, I would like to show you all of the higher level stuff, but A, I don't really want to cheat that stuff in, and B, it's a lot more fun with friends. This is entirely playable solo, but that is not what I would recommend. I would absolutely recommend playing with some friends, because it is tough. Even on, like, the easy difficulties. You saw that very first round. I got wrecked. I mean, yes, I could have been paying better attention, and yes, I could have gotten a weapon a little bit sooner, but I got wrecked, and there's nobody to revive me. Actually, speaking of reviving, you can revive your buddies. Like, it's super easy. You just walk up to them and hold spacebar, and you've got them revived. And we've got a friend already right beside us. Let's head on up and see if we can figure out where he is. Yeah, like I said, they're not super smart. I'm not super afraid of standing up like this, because, like, look at that. Oh, shoot, there we go. Finally shot at me. Oh, okay. But anyway, just a reminder, at the later rounds, they do start showing up with really big, scary weapons, like tanks and such. So you do actually need to be halfway decent with that Greyhawk. And you do actually have to be halfway decent with being able to shoot folks from a far distance. There is one thing I would like to mention that we like to do as a group. We like to do our best to capture enemy vehicles. So being able to capture a tank is not really going to happen. You're going to have to disable it for the crew to get out. And once it's disabled, there's not a whole bunch you can do with it. So that doesn't really happen all that often. But if we get an APC come through, then it's not a huge deal. Like, we can take out an APC even with basic weapons, because after, I think, round 3 or 4, they start spawning in with RPGs and other, rocket launchers. So we can actually take that stuff out. Also, they start spawning with bigger, better, and that's basically in the same spot. Wow. Ooh, there's a ghillie suit in my building. Anyways, like I was saying, we can, after a little bit of practice, take out the folks that were really causing us issues in... Oh, that had ammo in it. What? That's awesome. Wait, was that my backpack that had ammo? Yeah. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. That was... Yeah, that is exactly why you need friends in here, because you will get ambushed. Like I said, they're not very smart. You can set the difficulty a bit higher. I do actually recommend that. It gets a lot more fun. It does scale a little bit with number of people, which is great, but it's still a little inadequate when you've got a team of folks who have been doing this for a little while. In that case, it's a little inadequate. Anyways, let's see. I think... Oh, and I grabbed the wrong object. It may be beneficial for me to show off how to deal with that. But I think instead I'm just going to keep this out front because it's expensive and it will be useful. If nothing else, it'll keep vehicles from running up on me. Looking for that concrete walkway again. You forget what they call them or whatever. It happens. But yeah. I think that's pretty much it for Dynamic Bulwark. It is definitely worth your time if you have Arma. It does, as a bit of a disclaimer here, require contact for a lot of the weapons and stuff that spawn in naturally. Now, if you're good at editing missions, that's not a huge deal to you. Oh. Yeah. So if you're good at editing missions, that's not a huge deal. It works on basically all maps. All you have to do is change the mission name to match the map, and you're golden. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I know I did. And I will be playing some more of this soon, and I will see about bringing you guys some of the higher level gameplay, like rounds 20 and above, because that's where things really get interesting. When you've got all kinds of armor coming at you, and you've got to work together as a concerted team to take everything out. But yeah, well, it looks like that's going to do it for us today, guys. I wanted to say thank you for hanging around this long. If you did and you haven't already hit subscribe, please do. Just so you don't miss out on any of the other cool stuff coming on down the road. If you'd like to hang out with us, please hit us up on Discord. Link is in the About section on the channel, or you can go to discord.wonsnot.com, and I will see you guys in the next one.